Hi, I'm Eddie Stubbs, and what a privilege it is to be visiting with this guy right here. He's been a WSM listener for a long, long time. He started listening, as a matter of fact, to our evening show when he was a student at Vanderbilt University.
Yeah.
And that goes back to when, Dierks?
Oh, that goes back to 1994. So, yeah,
Wow.
I guess 22 years now.
Well, you were listening to the station a little before I got here. I
Yeah.
got here in 95,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
started hosting evenings in 96, but I know you used to call in as a student at Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I was really a student just of country music. I moved here. School is kind of a way to get to Nashville, but as soon as I got here the first day, I got a job with the Country Music Association and started just listening, and not just to the gigs down here on Lower Broadway, but to the radio. And 650 AM was such a game changer for me here in the station. The official home of the Grand Ole Opry, and the radio station is actually what introduced me to the Opry. We didn't, the radio waves are pretty strong, but they don't reach all the way out to Arizona, where I was from. So I learned so much through listening to 650, and then of course started listening to your program and understanding about digging deep and going back and finding the good stuff. It really changed my whole understanding of country music, really.
Well, thank you.
The privilege is all mine to be here with this guy right here. He is as deserving as anybody to be in the Country Music Hall of Fame. So I'm honored to be here with you.
Well, thank you. So glad you're here. Glad you're here in our town and a part of the Grand Ole Opry now for 11 years.
Yeah.
Coming on board in the fall of 2005. So we're family.
Yeah, we are.
We
are. We work for the same. We're both part of the same company.
Your early days in this town, you played for tips, sometimes just for free beer. The tips didn't always come, and that was on Lower Broadway.
Yeah,
Did you make the rounds to a lot of establishments?
I made the rounds around here a lot, just as a sponge to soak it up first, just to listen and learn. And I didn't move here thinking I had something to show everybody. I came here to learn and to find the source of the music, and it wasn't up there on 16th and 17th Avenue. And I found it at the Station Inn, obviously a big place that I love, and I found it here watching all sorts of bands. There's a lot of BR549 was playing down here, but so was Jamie Hartford Band, a great rock and country band, and more of a rock band, I guess they were, but obviously a lot of country influences there. And so I eventually put my first gig together, my first band together, but it wasn't, I did all the barbecues and tailgates and weddings and all that stuff, but my first paying gig wasn't even on Broadway. It was at Springwater, way across town, where I got paid free beer. And then I eventually got a gig down here that paid $25 a night, but you had to buy your own drink. So it was actually a negative move. That was a negative move financially, but because the beer was no longer free, I had to pay for it. And I was definitely drinking more than $25 a night.
Now, were you buying your own, or were you buying it for the boys accompanying you, too?
Yeah, I was buying it for everybody.
Oh,
and a lot of guys had played me back then. Kent Blanton played bass back then, and Randy Coors did a lot of gigs. Shad Cobb played a lot of stuff, a lot of fiddle. Of course, a lot of guys from the Del McCurry band would come play with me every now and then. Bobby Nicholas, Terry Eldridge, a lot of guys from the bluegrass scene were helping me, because I was kind of doing a bluegrass country thing down here.
Well, I think one of the neat things about all this and all the success that you've had with 9 albums now, you've been nominated for so many awards. Earlier this year, you were a co-host with Luke Bryan on the ACM Awards. You've never forgotten where you came from, and you have frequently cited in the media about the training ground that Lower Broadway was for your cultural education musically. And of course, up the street a few blocks on 12th Avenue South, working the station into, I know that was really, really important. But we're in the back of your bus on Lower Broadway tonight where we could get together.
Yeah.
And diagonally across the street from where we're parked, you're going to get to have something extra big happen. This is your first night to headline a major show in the city of Nashville. It will be happening on Saturday, January 21st.
That's right.
When you're headlining a show at the Bridgestone Arena. As you said earlier this week in a social media Facebook posting, the biggest honky-tonk on Broadway.
It is. I think it is. When they built that, I think that all of us that played down here go, wow, that's going to be the biggest honky-tonk on Broadway, because that's where all the country singers are going to aspire to sing one day. And yeah, it's for me to play that building. It really has a lot of significance just because of my time spent down here on Lower Broadway. And I always it's not something hard. It's not hard for me to come back and pay tribute to this area. It's in my heart. I love it. It's like the song City Lights. When I see the lights of Lower Broadway, I feel an electric charge go through my body. It's this area. I spent so much time down here, and I really feel like it should almost have its own area code. It's such a unique part of Nashville, and not just people playing in the bars, even the street musicians. There's a guy, Mandolin Mike, who's been down there 20 years playing on the corner down there. There's the talent down here is so good, and it's really its own vibe. And so for me to have the success we've had and be able to come back and play the big honky tonk Bridgestone on the 21st of January is pretty special. And it's just the only thing I'd say is so surreal. I was down here the other night doing something for TV for the CMA Awards. I was playing a rooftop gig at Tootsie's, and we got done taping the song, and all of a sudden I heard a lot of leaving left to do coming from across the street. I look over across the top of Rippy's, and a band over there is playing one of my songs, trying to get my attention. So I'm waving across the street, across Lower Broadway, back to the band, and all their fans are waving back over to us. And then I'm looking over at Bridgestone, and I can see where my bar is going to go on down the street one day, a bar called Whiskey Row. And just this whole area, it really feels like home to me. It's just a special place, unique to the world.
Well, on Saturday, January 21st, you'll be appearing at the Bridgestone Arena at 5th and Broadway.
Yes.
Tickets will go on sale on Friday, November the 18th, 10 a.m. at all Ticketmaster locations. How are you going to approach that show at the Bridgestone?
It's a special one, you know. It's my first time playing there, and again, it is special for me because of the location. So, you know, I got great support acts with Cole Swindell and John Party will be there, and great guys. But I do want to make it unique. You know, we're sitting back here in the back of my bus looking up at a picture of the Traveling McCurry's there. Everyone except Dell when I did a tour back in 2010 off a bluegrass record called Up on the Ridge. And bluegrass music is so important to me, and you know, it's that element will have to be involved in the show in some way. Those guys came out to a show I did at Red Rocks, Colorado, and it was awesome. So, you know, anyone who knows me, it's not a surprise. I'm going to have that element of in the show in some way. And then you know, there's other guests that were on this last record, Black, that I'd like to get out to the show as well, just to really make this Nashville show special. But what's great about it is I have, you know, a lot of friends here after 23 years of living in Nashville, and they're always asking me when I'm going to play Nashville, and I'm always like, you know, I'm playing in Indianapolis, come over there, I'm playing Birmingham or Chattanooga, but now I can finally be like, I'm playing Nashville, come out, see the show. And then I'll be able to check a lot of people off the list, but it's going to be a once-in-a-lifetime show.
Are you nervous about it?
You know, a long time ago, as you know, in this business, talking into microphones, you got to learn how to channel that nervous energy into something else. I just found a way to I'm anxious. I'm excited for it. You know, I'm definitely going to be kind of peeking around the curtain there to make sure there's some people actually there, and and I'll have a lot of people guess, so there'll probably be a lot of, you know, that work involved before the show. But just once I step out on that stage with my band and get a chance to realize this moment, I'll just hopefully be really present for it and be able to really take it all in.
Well, one of our heroes, Cousin Minnie Pearl,
yes,
as many times as she appeared on the Opry and, of course,
always
other
nervous.
places, people asked her oftentimes,
yeah,
you know, if she ever got nervous, and she said she really didn't get that nervous, but there was always a sense of apprehensiveness,
yes,
wondering how she was going to be received, and similar things like what you're saying, hoping people are going to be there.
I mean, I'll tell you, just between you and me, I'll tell you the craziest thing, but, you know, I walk on the stage of one of my shows feeling like I need to win them over. You know, it's like
they're your enemy, Dierks.
Well,
in reality, they are.
It's like they paid hard-earned money. They paid money to park their car. They paid money to buy a drink, buy a T-shirt, and they're there to support me. But I still feel like I have to go out there and win them over, which is a crazy feeling. And so I go out there every night apprehensive. I want to use the word nervous, because if I was nervous, you wouldn't be able to get off the bus. You'd be too scared. But I am anxious to go out there and try to. It is a battle of some way, you know, if you care enough.
I applaud you for caring, because that shows it's still in your heart.
Yeah.
And I think as long as you keep that in focus, that you've got to win them over.
Yeah.
Because it's a whole lot harder to win the respect of a fan than it is to lose them. And you can lose them really quickly, as you know.
Yeah, you can.
We've
so
seen
many
it
Pearl, you
happen
got to
with
love
people.
them, and they'll love you right back. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, you got to, you know, I was watching Elle King. She played the Ryman the other night, and I got a chance to watch her. It was a Monday night. I thought the crowd was great. They were awesome. After the show, I was talking to her, and she said, yeah, you know, they sat down for a little bit for the first half, and I said, you're crazy. They were like, you had them in the palm of your hand. It takes that outside perspective sometime. And I told her, I'm like, they're here to support you. Like it was a great night. But just to hear her say that reminds me of myself, because I'm so, if you care enough, it'd be a lot easier to do it if you didn't care. You know, just walk out there, put on your show, and leave. But every night, to me, is like I need to get that win. I need to feel like the crowd and I went through this transformation together of energy, and we just walked out feeling elevated in some way.
Well, for the people who go back to your earliest days here in Nashville and seeing you appear in the nightclubs on Lower Broadway.
I walked out elevated, but it was just it was more from drinking probably than the music.
Well, they would show you, they would see you show up in your white pickup truck, which you still have.
I have, yeah.
You still have.
I would have drove it tonight if I could have found the keys. I don't know where they were, but it's at home.
Yeah, but they would see you show up in that. But when you show up for this gig, I mean, or when you show up for gigs on the road, it's a whole different ball game. How many buses are on the road now with the Dierks Bentley show?
It's a circus, Eddie. We got seven
buses, tour buses,
seven tour
and
buses.
you have tractor trailers as well that accompany with your gear. How many do you have of those?
I think it's 7 of those.
Wow. How many people are in the Dierks Bentley camp, if you will, if you take musicians, crew?
Yeah, I have 48. I know it's because I'm getting ready to write 48 thank you notes to all the guys in my band and crew and catering and the folks that make the wheels go around. So I think there's about 48 with the truck drivers and the bus drivers and just in our own particular world, you know. Then you get out there, the other acts, opening acts, and their teams. It's a big production.
It's a big bay roll. Plus, you got a wife and 3 kids at home to support too.
That's right. It costs a lot to show up and just park the buses, but you know, I take every day. I don't take any day for granted. I just play every show like it's the last, and I feel so blessed to be at this spot where we get a chance to play. You know, swim the big sea here with the big hitters, and try to add our little style of country music to the overall landscape.
Well, what you're doing is a great thing, and I want to commend you on not forgetting where you came from, bringing what you do back to Lower Broadway. Again, the date will be on Saturday, January 21st. Tickets will go on sale on Friday morning, November 18th at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster outlets everywhere. And of course, you can get those online. For more information, you can go to Dierks.com. That's spelled DIERKS.com.
Yes.
You're very active social media-wise, and you're all wired up, but you still love old country music and what brought you to the table.
I love it.
I want to thank you for listening, and you called in frequently.
I know, I do.
Want to hear deep catalog, Fair and Young shuffles?
Hey, we're doing some Fair and Young tonight. You know, this town keeps getting bigger and bigger, and there's times it drives me crazy. But I mean, one of the greatest things about Nashville, and I'll say this to the camera, is 650 AM WSM and Eddie Stubbs on there every night, live radio every night. I'll be in my car coming back from the bus lot in the middle of the night, or tired or something. My truck is always just on 650, and then to hear you start playing something, a great song I hadn't heard before, and then you go rewind it and play that steel solo again. It just reminds you how much I love country music, and I love what I do on the road and love the music we make. But the great thing about this music is we could stop making records right now and have a lifetime of music to listen to, just going back and digging up through that deep catalog. And this is the only place in the world where you can hear that music being played on a radio station. It's one of the greatest things about Nashville is your show and this radio station. So I'm honored to come out here and hang out with us for a few hours on Old Goldie, as we call this bus. So thank you.
Well, thank you, and thank you for your kindness to our radio station. We've seen in print many things that you said regarding your latest album, Black, with the publicity surrounding that, and without any solicitation from Nashville whatsoever, you cited 650 AM WSM, the people you hear, the station itself, the music that's played. You cited myself in a number of those interviews. So God bless you for doing that, and thank you so much. And I just hope you'll keep that torch burning for what's in your heart, what helped bring you to the table. You got to play what's on the radio and what's going current, but you're in a position that you can educate people along the way and teach them about what you learned from and still have the hit records. And that's what a wonderful place to be in.
You're definitely my spiritual guide for that, as is other guys like Marty Stewart. I remember reading a Marty Stewart insert to one of his first country records. He kind of apologized to I think it was to Earl and Lester, just saying, hey, I got to make the music that's in my heart, and we're out there making the music that's really important to me right now, and I'm loving the sounds and the stuff we go after, but I love real country music to death, and will always have a big part in my heart, and there's records to come in the future that'll probably be something we can spend a little more on your program.
I'll look forward to that. Dierks Bentley, one of the greats of our time, a keeper for the ages. God bless you, my friend.
Thank you. Thanks, Eddie.
Thank you.
Hey guys, this is Eric Markham. If you like this video and you want to see more, click the subscribe button below.